Hello, welcome back to Talk Seagulls. And, well, Brighton are back. I don't know if I'm happy or not about that, to be honest, at the minute, but I'll get into that as it happens because we have got Spurs at home. Sunday kickoff. I'm joined with Sasha.
Hello.
Mate, it's good to have you on, Spurs fan.
Nice to meet you. How you doing?
Yeah, and you. I mean, what's the general feeling about Tottenham at the minute coming into this game? Are you all right about it? Are you feeling confident? Or
it's Spurs, so you never know. Like, there's always going to be, go into a game. What's going to happen?
Lads, it's Tottenham.
Yeah, it's Tottenham. But yeah, I mean, right now, 5 games, 5 wins. Quite happy with that form. Obviously, last night as well, 2-1 win. Very good. Got some players that come into form as well now, which is really good as well. So, I don't know. I think it's looking good. Fixtures as well coming up, not too bad as well. So, I think we can go on a bit of a run.
Yeah.
And maybe... I don't know. Again, it's just Spurs, so we never know. But
there's no such thing as runs with Spurs.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You play well for a bit, and then you're not quite sure what happens next.
That's it. Yeah.
You do a bit of music stuff as well.
Yes, I do.
You got an interview with James Bay later. That's pretty cool.
I do. I'm excited for that. Should be good. Dropped
a
a new album today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Declan McKenna as well.
Yeah.
Spurs.
He was good. Yeah, massive Spurs fan.
Yeah, he did a little performance against us away last season, if you remember.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Didn't quite go down.
I was
very
at that
well.
game actually.
Were you?
Yeah.
I couldn't really hear him in the away end. I think he got booed by quite a few around me. It didn't really work.
We were singing along, but I think it's our song, so it makes sense.
It makes sense. But no, talk to me then. So Spurs, I mean, as you say, it's been a different start to the season, I think. You've looked quite good. Obviously, the guy behind you bought in the shirt, Mickey van der Ven's, looked very impressive.
Absolute general player.
Oh, last game. I mean, that run against Man United. I mean, this is the one I'll probably judge you off. You're only as good as your last game, as they say. But you look quite impressive. And I've got to be honest, if it's the battle of the high lines, I'm a bit worried.
Yeah. No, I mean, you just look at Chelsea last week and how, Webster and Dunk as well, how they kind of just left too many gaps for the runs to come in. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, the amount of space that Madders and Kulu are going to be given, especially Kulu in that centre role as well. He's been so good moving into it's like a new signing altogether.
Yeah.
I think he's got a bit faster as well, which is quite ironic because usually you expect to be on the wing and he's just run off. But
so what? He's sort of like an inverted now. He sort of comes inside.
So he kind of comes into the middle. He kind of floats box to box, and he's pretty much been our best player this season. But I think if we give him a lot of space and he's able to create, then I think Solanke as well. He's looking really good.
Yeah, big
his
signing.
pressing game's pretty impressive. I've been really impressed by him.
Yeah.
Just look at Man United last week with the way that we were pressing. But the midfielders all locked onto a player, and Solanke would be between the 2 defenders, cutting off those passing lanes. And again, it'll probably be the same. I don't know, because Brighton don't really have midfielders right now.
We've got Carlos Baleba. Obviously, has been probably our standout on our perspective. He's probably been my player of the season as for breakout. Probably one again that you'll be seeing for the big clubs and all that sort of thing.
Definitely, yeah.
He almost gives me Basuma vibes. He gives me, like a little baby Yaya Toure, if you were like. He's an absolute powerhouse. He'll bring the ball forward and he'll sort of drive it forward. He's very, very good at that. But I think, I don't know. I don't think our biggest thing's midfield at the moment. I actually think it's defence.
Yeah.
Because without JP Van Hecker, who will be out for this game, he's going to be out for about 4 weeks, as is Joao Pedro. I think he's going to be out for about 6 weeks, if I'm right in saying. So we've not got maybe the defensive cover. I think it'll be Igor or Webster. Obviously, Webster's been given a lot of critics at Brighton this week. Rightly or wrongly, I think it's a bit unfair.
I think it's unfair as well.
Yeah,
I've always rated him, to be fair. He's been a good
servant as well.
Good
Local
servant.
lad.
I mean, he loves Brighton, you can tell. Big time.
Yeah.
He reminds me of, the whole situation reminds me a bit of Eric Dyer. A little bit.
Yeah. That's not a bad comparison, actually. Because an honest player that does his best for the club that probably, he doesn't want to play as badly as he did, in that first half. But it's not like the rest of the team were that bad either. I mean, I think when you look at Dunk, he was just as bad, if not worse, than Webster, I would say. I think Baleba played pretty well and covered him quite well at the best of times. Kadioglu is new and getting used to the team. So I think when you look around him, it's not like he had a great deal of help. Verbruggen could be questioned for a couple of the goals. So, I feel a bit sorry for Webster. I wouldn't be too surprised if he does stay in that first 11 for us.
Yeah.
But from your perspective, if it is a high line, which I feel like it could change, I don't know yet, but if it is a high line, do you just back someone like Maddison, who is, as you say, so capable, Brennan Johnson?
He's on a bit of a run right now. I don't know how he's not been picked for England, personally. Yeah,
it's a big shout.
He's, even against Brentford, I was at the game, and he was probably putting his best shift, I think, in a Tottenham shirt so far. And yeah, he's playing with a lot of confidence right now. I think Brennan Johnson coming in, running in through the wing as well. That's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, Brennan Johnson's on fire at the minute, isn't he?
Yeah.
Got what, 5 in 5?
5 in 5, yeah.
Yeah.
As of last night, yeah.
50 million. Is he doing well for you?
Yeah, I mean, I always backed him. I always thought, like, when I look at a player like that, I always look at their football brain. So he's got a great football brain. He knows where to put the ball. He knows where to make the run. Maybe the technical ability isn't there just yet, but that's going to develop over time. He's quite young still. I think he's like 20.
Yeah, he's young.
22.
He's in his young 20s, yeah.
Yeah. So I think, just give him time. Again, if he just keeps this form up, maybe he can bag another this weekend. We'll see. Probably don't want that, but
well, I mean, I don't know, because as I say, I'm still not quite sure about us yet. It depends, as I say, on who we play, because I think it probably will be kept as samey as we physically can. I don't know about yourselves, but obviously you've had a game midweek as well. Do you expect it to be a similar sort of team? Do you think there's going to be too many changes for you? I
mean, last night we put out a lot of youngsters.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of Mikey Moore.
Yeah. Well, if you play Football Manager, you've heard of Mikey Moore.
Yeah. Amazing player. 17 years old. Got man of the match last night.
He got man of the match. Yeah. I didn't watch the game.
Yeah, he would have got an assist as well if Werner put it away, but that's another conversation.
That's just Werner.
That's it, yeah. But yeah, he's just brimming with confidence right now. I actually wouldn't mind starting him potentially. Probably won't happen because of, he played the whole game.
Okay.
But we'd probably go with Werner, throw him on the 60th minute, I could see. And yeah, he came on really well against, I can't remember who it was.
I don't know.
Yeah, there was a game earlier anyway, come on. But
yeah,
looks good. And then obviously a doggy's out, which is a big loss for us. He's got a muscle injury.
Okay.
So expecting Spence to come in. I don't really mind that because he's done pretty well himself. He kind of understands the system.
Yeah.
Playing with a lot of confidence again as well. He scored that goal against Coventry in the FL Cup.
Saw that.
He kind of just like flooded
bit of a turnaround that, wasn't it? Last two goals.
God. That was a tough game to watch.
You've done that before, didn't you?
Yes.
Didn't you do that at Leicester?
Yeah.
Turned it around last minute. Yeah, it's a bit of a Spurs thing.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we're scoring a lot of last minute goals right now.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I don't know. I think actually second half we played a bit better, so I won't say that. But on what you were saying to me off air, you're talking to me about Ange Postecoglou. You've always been a bit of a fan of him.
Massive fan.
Just while it's the biggest topic at the minute with us about Highlines, and I did want to bring this up with you. And Postecoglou, if I remember, I think it was Chelsea last season, where were you playing at home and they beat you 4-1 in probably the game that was the least 4-1 game I've ever seen.
Yes.
I think Jackson got a hat-trick. And
that's
it was
what
just
started off his form as well.
Yeah, it did. And the line was so high that it didn't take much. It was literally one good pass, it's going to break through if you had any pace. And there was a lot of critics, wasn't there? If you remember, Postecoglou was always the one that was being hammered for it. And you said you stuck by him.
Yeah, big time.
What was it you saw in it to make it work?
I just like seeing a team actually go for it,
Yeah.
Like, I like the stubbornness. I like the idea of just having this tactic, sticking with it. Because it has worked with a lot of other teams. Yeah. But maybe not that occasion. But that was a bit of a brutal game to watch.
Well, yeah, but again, it wasn't like you played necessarily that bad.
No, I don't think
But you lost 4-1, so it looks terrible.
And obviously the Romero incident as well kind of changed things a bit. But I mean, just having gone from watching Contable, which was very sideways, very backwards, it's nice to see a breath of fresh air, a bit of a flood going forward. And I mean, Brighton have been doing that at the start of the season as well. Yeah,
which it's fine. It's I'm used to Brighton being a bit more experimental, being a little bit different. I mean, that's what Brighton have been for the last 3 years, is being that diversive side that like to play the ball. But I associate Brighton especially under De Zerbi, but also under Potter, as being we will beat you by playing beautifully, right? And I feel like maybe we've sacrificed that this season. I don't think maybe we play quite so beautifully. I think we still play good football, but our build-up probably under De Zerbi, especially in that first season, was some of the best in the world, as alluded to. I think that even that European campaign, we could have even got higher. We could have got into the Champions League that season, which sounds outrageous, but if we didn't lose to Forest, I think in the way we did, we were only 3 points away from finishing in the Champions, which is mind-boggling to say.
I mean, you had some brilliant players as well, like Pascal Gross.
Yeah, Pascal and Caicedo, McAllister, as I hate mentioning them every single time I record.
I know.
But again, it's a change now, it's fine. But then how do you cope with it? I'm not quite sure as to whether we've got the personnel, especially defensively, to deal with it.
Yeah.
Like you alluded to with Van de Ven, you've got, the quick enough centre-backs to deal with it. I think Romero is obviously very good as well.
Yeah.
But for you, I mean, what is it that you saw in that Postecoglou ball that would probably say to Brighton fans, stick with it? Or would you say maybe you do have to adapt at times as well?
I mean, it kind of what works really well with it is the fact that we're able to kind of play out with it from the back as well, which, I mean, to be fair, you look at Lewis Dunk, he's a really good ball player.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best passers in that position, I'd say, in
was.
the league. Well,
Before the other day.
Yeah. But on his day,
Yes. By
playing
far.
with confidence as well. Van Heck, when he comes back into it as well, I can see he's got most ball carries for a centre-back, I think.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, he's got to be up there.
Yeah. So I think maybe, some pacier players at the back, possibly.
Do you think it's fullbacks or sort of like the centre halves? Because
It's a bit of both, I think.
Yeah, because fullbacks were a bit more covered. We've got obviously Tarek Lamptey, who I think maybe could have even been given the go against Chelsea, despite his injury record. I think his pace and his sort of his athleticism would have helped. Ferdi Kadioglu is not quite ready yet. On the left side, Purvis Estepinian's been injured for I think 3 different injuries.
Yeah, he's only just coming back into the side, isn't he?
Only just.
Yeah.
So again, to rely on him, I don't know about loaning out Valentin Barco in the way we did. So actually, when you look at that back four, realistically, it's probably going to be an unproven Kadioglu, who I'm sure will come very good for us.
Yeah.
Dunk, Webster, and Purvis. Would you look at that back four and say that's capable of playing that high line, that intensity that you'd need in a team like Postecoglou's?
I think against like mid-table sides, maybe the lower sides, definitely. But I think with teams like Spurs, it's probably the time to kind of sit back a bit, absorb that pressure, let us play the football, let us get the possession, and then try and counter. You've got the players that can do that as well. You've got Minte, you've got
Mitoma.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Both of them as well, very capable of just punishing us this weekend, which I'm kind of skeptic about.
Okay, so we've said about the style. What do you think is going to happen at the weekend? What are you thinking for Spurs? Is it going to come over and sort of try and control the game, or are you going to try and sort of slow build up? What's the way you're thinking this is going to happen?
I mean, I think it will be quite similar to Man United. I think we will be playing that high press again. We've got the highest turnovers in the league, actually in Europe.
Oh, really?
So,
Impressive.
I think we'll be pushing very much with that. Like, Solanke, he's a bit of a workhorse. He'll just keep running for that. I can see us having about 60 to 70% possession.
Really?
Yeah, potentially.
For a Brighton fan hearing that at home, I'd be very surprised. But I mean, you never know.
I don't know. Like, you never know. Again, like, you could turn up on a day and control the game.
And sort of players to watch. What are you thinking?
Players to watch from which team?
From Tottenham.
From Tottenham, definitely Kulusevski. Probably the best player of the season. Van de Ven, this guy over here. Solanke as well.
Yeah. So you're sticking with
Brennan
your original
Johnson
guns
again.
from earlier.
Yeah, just the people that are kind of on form.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting because I think when you look at our team, I don't know, because I think from our perspective, I say Carlos is definitely one to watch, but I'd be very surprised if with the players you mentioned that we definitely accept sort of having a lesser share of possession.
Yeah.
I think if anything, I reckon it'd be quite balanced. I think that both teams will try. I think we'll definitely push you, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. I think the quality overall could be different.
Yeah.
The only thing that will change my mind, and I'll let you know on the moment of kickoff if I agree with still what I'm saying now, is if we play the high line. If I see that line 10 yards back, then I see Dunk and and Webster in a completely different light. Because I look at them all of a sudden as, very decent ball carriers, but also great last-ditch defenders.
Absolutely,
and defenders that can stop, almost certain
they can
goals.
put the last tackle in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So to have 2 last-ditch defenders is going to be very different with having a line 10 yards deeper. So that alone could maybe change my mind on Brennan Johnson, Kulusevski, as long as we're not giving them so much space in the middle.
Yeah.
But we'll see at the end of the day. But I don't even know. I don't know.
No,
because I want to push.
Honest, I don't know. Like, I'm saying this stuff now, but I really don't know.
I was going to push on you about our wingers, but then again, you've still got very, very capable sort of fullbacks.
Yeah, well, I mean, the doggy's out, so that's
that does help
exposed.
you. But even still, because Minte's been a bit off form, it has to be said. Minte has been a bit hit and miss. As much as I think he's a great, great talent, he'll go on to be one of our better, wingers in the last few years. The only good thing for us is, and I have to mention this, is that after 349 days, Solly March is back.
Yeah.
Solly
Can't wait for
March is
that.
back, and that's as of today.
I'm excited to see him play.
Mate, 351 days it'll be by the time the game comes around.
Mm.
But Solly's back. Huge news for us, right? I remember I was at the City game in the away end, and as soon as he went down, you knew it was bad.
Yep.
You knew something was gonna, it was gonna be something bad. It ended up as a double sort of knee injury. I think he had a meniscus and an ACL tear. Considering he had an ACL only a year before, was mind blowing. How he's even back this early, I've got no idea.
Hopefully it doesn't sting you a little bit.
Yeah, it could do, but my expectation for Solly was just come back.
Yeah,
I don't care if he comes back even half the player, just come back. If I can see Solly play one more time, I'm very happy, man. The difference is, I don't think that's his aim. I think that his mentality, the way he's really, really driven home, and he actually commented on one of my posts the other week, saying that someone said that he's, he's going to be finished and whatever, and I think he said shush. In other words,
I wrote that
with a shushing emoji.
Yeah,
and from that alone, I'm like, mentality, Solly. I'm thinking, I remember the Solly from when he was our academy kid.
Yeah.
And he was always the one that you wanted to just show a little bit more character. And he used to infuriate me because you could see how talented he was. And I'd always think, Solly, just show it, be the arrogance, give us the arrogance as well.
Especially when you've got the talent as well. You can kind of back yourself.
Yeah. And he had no backing. You could see it. He would get to a one-on-one situation and sort of turn around and pass it. And you think, no, you can get round him. You can. And I think De Zerbi got that out of him. I'm not expecting that again. But if I can just see Solly March play, even for 5 minutes against Tottenham, if he plays fullback, I'll be very happy.
Yeah, no, I think he'd be great in that position. Yeah.
Well, he was. I think our player of the season. I think he did. He was on for player of the season in COVID, playing left wing back. But we'll see. I don't know. I just really want Solly to come back and look all right. On our injury front, we've obviously got Brian Gruder finally available. Little baby Cole Palmer, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
The German version. He was signed for I think 25-30 million from Mainz.
Okay.
Again, not seen him yet. So hopefully going to see him this weekend, at least for a fraction of the time. As I said to you before, with Minte being a little bit off colour, Simon Adingra is also out, so our wings aren't quite as stacked as they have been. So seeing Mitoma, but even just having Gruder available and March available, it's going to be
just
massive
a bench
for
option
us.
to put him on 70th minute even.
Yeah. Well, 70th minute's going to be always the key one because, as you say, with these quick attackers, you need them. Okay, but with all said and done, what do you think? Score predictions.
Predictions. I think there's going to be a lot of goals.
Yeah.
I do think there's going to be a lot of goals. I think as many goals as 3-2 Spurs.
3-2
potentially. Yeah.
I mean, you say that like even as many goals as. I mean, we saw 6 last game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
In the first half.
Yeah. I mean, we've already scored about 11 goals in the Premier League this year, so
yeah,
there's already been quite a few. And obviously, the 3-0 against both Karabag, Man United, and then 3-1 against Brentford as well. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know. It's really hard to call. What do you think?
You've got. I don't know. I think for us it's. If we do play that lower block, I'll be a bit happier about it. As I say, I think that our defenders are very capable. I think going forward we can be very good. It'd be nice to see Jorginho start again. Just keep getting his minutes up with Danny Welbeck.
Yep.
I think when I look at that and I say a draw, I don't think that's unreasonable.
I could see a draw. I could see a 2-2.
I was going to say 2-2. A Desmond,
maybe. Definitely not a goalless.
No, I think I'd be surprised if we don't concede. Because of how we've been playing at the moment, but I'd just absolutely love it if we prove me wrong, and I'd love it if we go and show something different. And this is a huge opportunity for Fabian Herzler to do exactly that, because I've been a bit critical and said I'm not quite sure about the tactics, as many others. That's not just me. And now it's a huge opportunity to prove it.
Yep.
And especially against, say, someone like Ange Postecoglou.
Yeah, definitely.
High Line FC against High Line FC.
That's what we are.
Do you think you'll play that again?
Yeah, 100%. I think he'll keep playing it consistently. I think it's his gameplay. Ange Ball, I love it. I can't see him really changing. Maybe if we got against like a City or a Liverpool, maybe there's a little bit slight adaptation. But I don't know. I just feel like he's very stubborn and stuck with that.
Yeah, you're very confident.
I don't know, but I seem confident, but at the same time, it's Spurs. You never know.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah. So I'm going 2-2. I think. My heart would say we're going to win, but I have to say that.
I mean,
Why
we're definitely
wouldn't
conceding.
Yeah.
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 There's too much quality in that tag. Danny
Yeah.
Welbeck as well. I can see it
Welbs
being
loves
him,
to go against a London club.
especially a former Arsenal player.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. You forget about that.
The
to be
way I
honest.
see Welbeck get one as well is off a corner.
Yeah.
If Romero loses his man again.
What's your take on Welbeck? Because he got
I think he's.
a bit memed, didn't he?
I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 3 goals, 1 assist this season.
Yeah.
Doing pretty well.
Yeah, he's doing very well. He
Yeah.
started the season strongly. Normally, he gets injured about now, so that's not
Yeah, I
James'
mean,
fate.
'cause, like, he's in his 30s as well.
Yeah, he's 33.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to be kind of producing these stats at that age as well, he's still quite good. Obviously, you want João Pedro back.
Yeah.
He's the one that you want back.
Giles, as I said to you before, he's the talisman. He's
Yeah.
the goals. He's the one that can do moments like that.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
don't think anyone else can. Shout out Masala Designs, by
It's
the way.
amazing.
Nice one.
Yeah.
But it's moments like that you can't replicate.
Yeah.
I don't think, 95th minute, Man United at home.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the guy to score? Even going to Arsenal away the week after, who's going to be the guy to score and take advantage of the 10 men? So, as much as I really, I praise this team, you don't have them big moments.
Yeah.
You want someone like João Pedro to just step up and be there. But Danny is capable. Don't get me wrong.
No, 100%. 100%.
Is he a big game player? I'm not so sure. Would I call this a big game? I don't know. Every game is a big game in the Premier League.
Yeah. I think he scored against us quite recently, I think, in our fixture run.
I'm trying to remember back now.
I wouldn't be able
Last
to pull
season,
up an exact receipt.
Last
but-
season was the 4-2, 2-1 to you. I think you beat us at your place.
Maybe it was the season
Brennan
before.
Johnson was in the last minute, if you
Yeah.
remember rightly.
I do
and I was
remember
going
that, yeah.
crazy in the away
96th
end.
minute.
And I think the home game was the 4-2, which we tried our best to throw away in the last 10 minutes. So we're cruising at 4-0.
Yeah.
Again, Joao was at the heart of that again. Estepinian with the unbelievable goal.
Yeah. Absolute screamer.
Absolute screamer. So yeah, last season was a weird one for us. I think the season before, I don't even know now, to be honest. My brain's gone numb to that thought. But again, we always struggled against Spurs. We always struggled against Spurs. But I think we'll be okay.
I can definitely see us giving. You can see if you'll give us a game, 100%.
Yeah, I hope so.
Especially at
Sasha?
home as well.
Yeah, no, I hope so. It's actually been a pleasure. Let us know where we can find you, by the way. Look into the camera,
Yeah.
plug the socials.
Hello.
What are you doing?
Basically just making playlist content on TikTok.
Yeah,
But yeah,
nice.
Sasha
Make sure-
McCall on TikTok.
There you go. Follow
Yeah.
his TikTok. Wish him the worst of luck as well as Spurs. Welcome to Brighton as well. Just while you're here at
Yeah,
the Caxton, it's
thank
been
you.
an absolute pleasure as always.
Thanks for having me on.
hosting us. Yeah,
Cheers.
it's been nice stuff. Got the Brighton gin in the background.
Mhm.
Little Julio shirt from First Class Autographs as well. Make sure you follow them. We'll be giving it away actually, so make sure you get your eye out for that, like we did with the Minte shirt. But up the Albion. I'm hoping for the best, and we'll see you shortly after Tottenham when it's another international break. And goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you.